Welcome back to Hello Rose City. There's a live look at Cannon Beach. Looks pretty out there, rain or shine, but it is supposed to be dry out along the coast for at least the next couple of days. What started off as a weekend art project has turned into a full-fledged business for our next guest. Will Markusen is the owner of Hothead Candles, where he's turned famous figureheads into candles, and he's doing it all from his Portland garage. Welcome, Will.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Good. We're glad you're here. Thanks for bringing everything. But first, tell us how and why you got started.
Well, it just started off just kind of almost by accident. My daughter and I, a few years ago, had a weekend. We were looking for something to do and just came up with this little art project idea of maybe we can make a head candle, and we worked on it all weekend and succeeded and started making them for friends and family, and it just kind of blossomed from there.
Well, I have to ask, what was the first head you made that weekend? You made Trump, okay. So yeah, tell us who you make, some of the highlights here.
I've got, I think 16 now in my line, and I've got a couple others that are on deck. You've got They're mostly political figures. We've got Hillary, Obama, Trump, Biden, got Fauci, Kim, Jong-un, RBG, we've got Reagan, Pence, Kamala.
All the big ones.
All the big ones.
Einstein.
Einstein, and we've got Elon is the newest one.
Elon Musk, great. So tell me actually about the process, because you brought some of your molds. So walk us through how you do this.
So the model starts off in a digital form. I actually am working with a really talented artist who's actually based in Ukraine named Azamat. He's a 3D sculptor. So I send him an email and tell him who I'd like to make next, and I send him some reference images, and we work back and forth. He sends me a digital file, which I print on my 3D printer, and then after a little bit of handiwork, just kind of cleaning it up and getting it ready, I place it on this little container that I made, and I also print on my 3D printer. Fill it up with silicone, and once it dries, I end up with this mold.
Okay.
Which I then wrap with this little container that I also print on my 3D printer, and some rubber bands, and just fill it up with hot wax. And then after a couple hours, I take it out, and then I hand drill all the wick holes.
And voila, you have a candle.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I have to be honest, I did want a wax candle of myself, but then I learned how lengthy this process is.
We can talk. Yeah.
We can talk, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But I think a lot of people would be surprised that, yeah, it's just you and then the artist you work with in Ukraine, but ultimately it's just you in your garage building all of these.
It is.
Sometimes your daughter.
Sometimes my daughter, when she's not busy at school or gymnastics or countless other
how old is
activities.
she?
She's 14.
Okay, yeah, so she's, not quite an employee yet, but maybe.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
So you've had some celebrity customers and even some celebrity kind of shout outs, right?
I have. As far as shout outs go, I was approached by The View a couple years ago, and my candles were featured as one of Joy Behar's 2 picks for her favorite gifts under $50 for the holidays. Completely unexpectedly, about a year ago, they appeared on Jimmy Kimmel Live. I have sold candles to Rosie O'Donnell, but ran into Robert Gibbs, the White House press secretary under Obama, a couple months ago, and at the encouragement of some friends that I was there at this event with, approached him and talked to him, and he asked me to send him some Obama candles because he was going to be seeing Mr. Obama later that month. So
very cool.
I haven't heard back as to whether or not he ended up receiving them or what he thought, but it's been a very exciting and interesting journey.
Yeah, that sounds really fun. And I understand you're also working on a commissioned piece. Are you able to talk about it?
Well, I'm not going to share who that is.
Okay.
But yeah, a person, a well-known entertainer in the music and movie industry, his people reached out to me, and they wanted to do a head candle of him, which he can sell as part of his merch package. So I've been working with them on developing that.
We heard the word he, so that was our one hint that we're getting there.
Yeah, the music industry, yeah.
No, that's super cool. And you, obviously people give these as gifts a lot. So what is the response that you've gotten?
Shock. I mean, there's a lot of shock. People are just surprised to see the level of detail. And as far as gifts go, I think I've kind of been, found it a little almost heartwarming that especially in the, really, tense political, times that we're living in, this has kind of brought a level of brevity I've found, amongst families and friends who have different political views.
Do you think people, do set it up more of a shrine, or they're like ready to burn that sucker?
It's from my perspective and what I've seen and the feedback I've gotten, it seems to be a pretty even mix.
Yeah.
They were originally, I made them with the full intent that, they would burn, people would burn them. You don't have to burn it in effigy. I mean, you can, there are all sorts of candles that you burn, with a very positive mindset. But
that's true, yes.
But I'm very happy to see that people are interested in actually keeping them and displaying them as little pieces of art on their shelf.
Yeah, definitely. Well, where can people buy them?
They can buy them on my website, hotheadcandles.com. I'm also on Etsy and Amazon, but I prefer that people go to hotheadcandles.com to buy them.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much for coming and bringing these. They're beautiful.
Well, thanks so much.